bit more time this time. So, VanillaTV, ETF2L Season 10 Grand Finale. You are listening to Arx and Beta, Shrike on the stream. Thank you for joining us, and this is the final round of Best of 3, and Arx, take us to middle again.
Okay, we're going for middle. The second time on this map, obviously with a restart, just in case the VOD's only just been started now. But we do have the teams in there. It does look like Infused a little bit faster this time around. One of the scouts putting a load of pressure over there. Who's that? Shocky's over on the demo man and medic. He's getting so much damage. Every one of his scattergun shots was dealing so much. And actually, Epsilon, despite losing both of their soldiers there, they're holding on here. They've still got their medic alive. Scout's gone down. They're just left with a medic and a demo man against two scouts, and that's still not a good battle to be in. It doesn't matter how weak the scouts are. The demo man still has to hit him. F2 goes down. I was saying Epsilon F2. F2 goes down, and we're just a lonely Randa trying to do what he can.
I was laughing at Dunc's comment, sorry. Dunk just said med is down, and now it's Randa asking for a restart round, but obviously this is just people mucking around though, so they have taken that midpoint. It's good to see that they can still have a joke about it. It would have been quite funny if something did happen then, I just would have, really, I just would have laughed my head off. Either way, the scouts did do the job and they got F2 down. They do have that better position, and of course they do have a slight uber advantage, about 40%. Who's that went aggressive? That's KnOxXX went aggressive, he got taken down. And it's F2 actually stuck up on that corner, overhealing at the moment. I thought F2 was running crits then. No, he wasn't, he's on uber still. They should be able to take this second point, but Epsi having that height advantage forced them back a little bit. That's more of intimidation than again, Arx, surely.
Yeah, I was going to say the height advantage there. Who's that soldier? I'm just trying to chase him. Gear. Gear in that position, it was very intimidating for the players, and actually Infused did a smart thing not to engage them there. They have got the demo man reloaded back in the point. Gear's trying to pressure them now, and this might not be so smart. He has been isolated away from his medic, taking a lot of pipes. He goes down from behind the wall, and so they've lost that soldier who's up there, and I thought that soldier was pretty crucial to their hold. However, it does look like Infused are backing off. Are they going to take the alternative route?
Yeah, it looked like they were faking. I think he just went back to heal a couple of his players so they can push in around the side as well. Nox is round there watching that side now, so there won't be anything probably coming around there that isn't uncalled. And as now Infused come through that choke point, Randa's a little bit isolated at the moment. F2 comes down and saves him. It's a good Uber. Had to come down and save him. Dunc has Ubered in return, but won't have any real advantage. They won't try and push in. wltrs gets isolated because he went aggressive. He gets taken down, and Infused happy to have another go at it and just recycle and rebuild that Uber. Unless Epsi push through, which with both soldiers on the right, it looks like they're tempting it, but no, they're just going to build it and wait around.
See, I like what wltrs did then. He was Ubered by his medic and he was chasing the demo man. The counter Uber was popped, and what he did is rather than turn around, he ran straight through them. And what that did is it forced players to turn around. Players that wanted to be pushing, they turned around to just fight that scout, and then by the time that scout died, yeah, he got isolated and they were a player down, but by that time, they hadn't made any progression through the choke point, and so they're forced to just sit back on middle and wait for another Uber. Now while the score's 0-0, that's, it's fine, it's not really going to inconvenience them at all, but I just thought it was a very smart idea by wltrs with what he did there.
Yeah, but as we see, who was that went aggressive? That was flisko again that went aggressive. Numlocked got slightly isolated, Uber was forced. That does mean Epsi will have a slight advantage. Greg gets taken down as well. It looks like Mike over in the far corner. No, sorry, it's flisko over in the far corner gets isolated as well. And it's prompting Epsi to push. Epsi coming through the choke point now. Randa laying down the stickies. Soldiers on the far right hand side. Infused falling back quite quickly. Don't want to lose any more players there. And Epsi will retake that midpoint. As they maybe should have got that first round before they restarted.
Yeah, both of the Epsilon soldiers were actually weak pushing into that midpoint there. Maybe if Infused had stayed in, I would have predicted that they would have won that fight. But, I mean, it's still, they can't know the health of every player on the enemy team, so they made a smart decision. They'd obviously lost a player, and losing middle when it's 0-0, it's not the end of the world. So, now they're holding their second. We do not have a sniper. Did he just change?
Yeah, I think so. I saw something pop up, but maybe he disappeared again. So, I mean, it would have been interesting if he did go sniper, because I don't know, he would have had to run at the back. KnOxXx went down by numlocked. Dunc is being forced to use his Uber. I'm not sure F2 did use his in the end. That was probably a soldier going aggressive on him. But Infused, it looks like they've FC are quite split up at the moment. Medic is being targeted by the scout. It's going to be F2 versus, is that Greg? It looked like Greg anyway. I think it was Greg. Yeah, it was Greg. So F2 went down. Dunc went down as well though. So that might hold their push to second. And Infused, a couple of their players are weak in fact as well.
Yeah, I think again they're just content with taking the midpoint. I mean, the Epsilon demo man hasn't got a position on the choke point. I mean, he's only just respawned, so they might have been able to use that time to kind of peek through, maybe intimidate them back while the demo's not there, and then their medic could join up with them later, but they haven't utilised that just yet. However, they are getting through the choke point now a little bit. Does look like numlocked really wants to go in and commit to this. Spamming, soldiers jumped over, he looked a little indecisive there. It looked like he wanted to go for the medic, then saw a soldier, then thought, oh, I should be going for the medic, and he just went down doing absolutely nothing. And now Infused taking this for the moment uncontested. Are Epsilon going to come in? No, it doesn't look like it. They're falling back to their last.
No, they probably didn't come in Arx because of gear going down. Maybe if they were still up, they would have probably gone for it. But I'm just wondering if they're going to see anything on last. As Mike goes really aggressive to try and get behind the medic, he does take down Randa. MC just a little bit of a bad position at the moment as Infused move in and use their Ruba. Scouts on final, both scouts on final, and it's going to be Infused taking the first round on Gully. And so, contrary to belief, it looks like Infused again holding up to their reputation on Gullywash and taking that first round, Arx.
Yeah, so far Epsilon didn't have Uber as they pushed in, and Infused got straight to it. They pushed in as soon as they had their Uber. So it was quite an easy take, considering Gullywash last is notoriously difficult to capture. So on to round 2, over onto the mid fight. Soldier got air-shotted there. I believe that was KnOxXx, judging by his health. And actually, it's a little bit messy, but Infused seem to be winning this. It's a lot of 1v1 battles of equal classes. It was a demo man versus demo, soldier versus soldier, scout versus scout going on there, but I think actually they were getting helped out quite a bit. So Infused wiping out Epsilon and capping this middle. They've got all of their team over on this 4th point. They're not even gonna have Uber. by the time they want to be pushing, they're not even gonna have Uber. And this is one of the things about Gullywash. It's such a quick map. You can get sort of 45-second rounds on this map, and this would have been one if their Uber had built a little quicker.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to see Infused maybe do the same thing. I think if maybe someone else can comment and correct me on this, I believe both scouts run under the point and out through the back. What that meant is that there was a soldier that just got isolated by 2 scouts. And there we go, so one of the scouts has gone under again. He's going to probably target that soldier who went down to go and meet him. Obviously they have used their Ruba. F2's still building. He hasn't gone down. Infused not getting enough players down at the moment. Still Randa up, one of the biggest damage dealers there. Both soldiers go down for Infused as well. So in the end, Dunc, the only one left up for Infused. I'm not really sure what happened there. But Dunc did stay alive. If he can stay alive, now we're going to see something interesting, because F2 obviously has a huge Uber advantage. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Infused not even bother contesting 3 Arx. It'd be... I mean, look where they're defending. They're defending quite far back. See if you can get anything. You know, maybe a slight pick or force the Uber, you know, coincidentally. But it'd be interesting. And Greg went down. He was sitting quite far aggressive. Now Epsi are pushing in. Flisko's quite isolated at the moment. He's very, very weak. He doesn't go down. Walters and knocks down, though, for FC. So both of those players went aggressive. And F2 went down. F2 went down, you probably all heard that, and that's probably one of the worst things that could have happened for Epsi.
Yeah, it is so rare that F2 drops an Uber, but that rocket was perfect. It went right through his skull. It was such a good rocket, and that has basically brought Epsilon Infused into such a good position. They've got 100% Uber. They're on the 4th point. Sniper takes down numlocked, and actually their medic needs to be careful because he's jumping around all over the place. Soldiers and scouts jumping to him. He did the smart thing there and Ubered. They still haven't capped this point, but F2 goes down again. Now, a soldier's jumped up to try and deal with that sniper. He's at least forcing him back towards his last, and is Mike still going for him? Well, either way, they've captured this 4th point. They still have 4 players alive, and they know that one of the Infused Epsilon guys is still running sniper. Actually, he's not anymore, but he was running sniper.
Yeah, he went back and switched Arx because he got forced back, like you said. But this is going to be interesting again, because Dunc has that slight advantage again. Quite similar situation we just saw a moment ago. though the advantage isn't as big, F2 is building very, very fast, and that gap is getting smaller by the second. Of course, Infused will be building fast as well, but they're not hanging around. They want to be moving in the minute it hits that. They get that Uber to make the most of that advantage, and they are just waiting by the front door. So here we go. Uber has been triggered there, so one of the soldiers, very aggressive, KnOxXx gets taken down. It's still delaying time, F2 on 80%. Scouts running straight for final. No one's going to be there to greet him. Scouts, Quad just needs to step on the point. There's a medic going after the soldier as well. Dunc gets taken down, and in the end, it's only going to be numlocked left.
See, that's the thing, there's a circle of stickies around the top of the point, and while the stickies themselves only guaranteed 1 kill, it's again intimidation. Nobody wanted to go and take that loss. Someone had to just jump on the point and take that sticky trap so the rest could go on there, but no one wanted to run onto it, so all that meant was, well, they had no time on the point. They weren't forcing the players to the point, they were all just kind of dancing around on the outside of it, hoping the demo man's going to det them, and at this level, well, Randa's not detting them unless he's getting a kill from it.
Yeah, exactly, and I think we talked about in the past previously that it does take that one person, maybe to pretty much so take one for the team. It does take a little bit of coordination, and it can be hard when it's quite those pivotal moments, but
F2
there we
down
go.
again.
I also said, yeah, down again, F2 down again. That's the 3rd time in a row. F2 has gone down, and now I would expect Infused to be the intimidator right now. They shouldn't be giving up this point so easily. Randa has got some very good stickies down, but I'm surprised, Arx again, I'm surprised they didn't let, you know, a couple of people peek out, try and get some more pressure on them. And it's just Greg actually now on 3. So Epsilon doing the wise thing, probably not contesting.
Yeah, they probably could have at least scared them out of the point there. Just by being there, because if you've got a medic, maybe some long distance shooting, weaken their health a bit, make it harder for F2 when they regroup, and you can push immediately. I mean, they have the Uber. The only concern here is that Dunc is in a position where he might have to use the Uber. And in fact, are they pushing already into last? This is a great decision. They're trying to cut them off at top, leaving 1 scout on the point. Uber's been popped. Not the best timing as there was only 1 soldier there, but they are pushing into last. Epsilon's still in the process of falling back, and actually their medic and soldier goes down to a great jump by Mike. Managed to take them both down in the same rocket. However, Infused only still have 3 players alive. Only wltrs trying to defend this. He's got to take on a soldier and a scout. The soldier's kind of weak, but he was being healed by the medic, and Infused are taking this 2nd round. Yeah,
fantastic play by Mike. Fantastic. Uber was forced early by Dunc. Dunc's Uber was forced early. He kept it on Mike, switched to Mike. Fantastic jump by Mike. And that first rocket got F2 down again for a 4th time in the row. And that's what won that round. I mean, you can say, yeah, someone said, once F2 stayed alive, you never know, because he didn't stay alive. That's irrelevant now. All you know is it's 2-0 the score, and FC look like they don't want to hang around again. But they have, yeah. Look, 4 players down for Infused. This looks like a different FC team. Dunc's gone down as well. Only Quad left, and he's going to get taken down. And that's going to be a wipe.
Yeah, he has managed to take down Randa. I'm looking at the timing of the Infused players, and like 5 of them are going to spawn almost immediately, except for Quad. Now, without that demo man being there, they might be able to mount some sort of pushover onto this point, but I think with Infused's reputation, they are going to set up for a defense on last. Probably, yeah, a pyro. They usually run a pyro on this last defense. And yeah, they're good at defense, but can they honestly hold off an Epsilon team coming in with Uber?
I'm surprised we're not maybe seeing heavy. They haven't decided. They're running pyro, as you said. Dunc is building fast.
There's
nevertheless. Well, yeah, there's the heavy just now. I would expect it to see that slightly earlier. F2 has been used his Uber. They've been stuck, pinned in that corner by the pyro. Great play by Greg. There's a scout on point, but he gets blocked as well, and that's given time to Dunc. Now on 90%, and that's given them the chance. And you're saying, can they hold it off the Uber? But FC still coming in. F2 goes down. This could prompt Infused to push back out. It's only Shocky left. Someone will need to stay on final and make sure nothing comes through that point. I'm just trying to see where...
Shocky was trying to get on the little, as people refer to it as the gay spot, but Infused pretty much invented that spot. As soon as that scout ran out, as soon as Greg ran out into the lobby, he checked up there. So it was kind of lucky that Shocky failed his jump up there. And he is actually hiding on top of point 2. Now that's a really good position for him to be in, because if Infused do decide to push out, they're going to be like, hang on a minute, why isn't this capture point getting any time on it? I mean, it's too late for the push out now. Infused are going to have to sit on their last again, and that's one of the downsides of having a pyro and a heavy. Your push out is delayed by quite a lot.
Yeah, 2-0 the score, just over 15 minutes remaining. This is VanillaTV, EVE2L Season 10 Grand Final. This is the third map out of a best of 3 series. Infused taking the first via Golden Cap, Epsilon taking the second via 5-0 the score, so quite a considerable loss. But as you can see by the scoreboard in front of you, 2-0 the score to Infused, and right now it's quite a close game. Some people used to say that Infused were unbreakable on Gully. The only team that may have beaten them, in fact, is, as we said earlier, Epsilon at I-43. Probably a few more that I haven't known, but that's the last considerable loss. But this is a repeat of the I-43 final, just with a few different players for each team. Most notable, Quad playing for the opposite team, and obviously Dunc playing instead of Flushy. But as we see Epsilon move in, Dunc's going to try and move forward and block them into that corner. No real movement. There's a scout on fire, and both scouts came behind Heavy and took him down. And there we go. So that's how quickly it can be done and turn around. They must have come under the point, targeted the Heavy, 2 meat shots each, or 1 meat shot each, and he's gone. And there we have it, 2-1 the score, and it's all changed.
That was some sexy TF2 from those scouts there. They literally just ran in, destroyed that Heavy, and then ×4 on the point. No one reacted in time, and to be honest, that's not really a fault for Epsilon because it's so difficult to react that quickly. And now it's 2-1 onto the mid fight. And so we've got Gear going down quite early, but in exchange, Dunc goes down. Walter's taking him and Quad down, I do believe, and Epsilon almost on a wipe. They've only got Randa alive. Randa's, it looked like he was going to go for a jump. Actually used it as a defensive jump. Numlocked chasing him down, trying to get him down. Look at the health of 3 of the Infused guys. They're on under 50%. So yeah, it was basically players staying alive versus players getting killed.
Yeah, F2 went down as well, Arx. He went down roughly the same time as Dunc did, so the Ubers probably won't be much different. No one trying anything different just yet because there still is 13 minutes remaining and the score is only 2-1. So it's still early days, but I mean, let's just see if Infused can break down Epsilon this time. Especially, well, is this probably the first time we've seen both teams have the Uber at the same time on final?
Yeah, pretty much. In fact, it is.
Yeah, one team always had a slight advantage, and it was always someone defending or being slightly defensive, so they didn't they didn't lose their medic or something. But it's going to be the first time as they push in Arx.
Yeah, so it does look like they are going to be making that push shortly. They're coming through the main with just Medic and Demoman. There's no one following them in the main route, and Pyro's actually doing a good job pushing that Demoman back, deflecting 2 rockets. Shocky finally gets taken down. Did Infuse make any ground?
No, they didn't. They've stayed back into the lobby area. They're just quite happy to recycle at the moment. Wise decision because they did lose Greg and Quad. Just trying to see if anyone's running anything out of the ordinary. Walters did actually run Spy. He must have got taken down. Shocky switched to Sniper, actually. Quite surprising. He's gone back to switch back to Scout, as I would have advised. Infused, though, they're not being intimidated, Arx, which is good to see, because I felt on the last map a couple of times, a couple of key decisions maybe could have been made quicker, and they just got intimidated and just pushed around, really. And now they realise they're in a good position. 2-1, 11 minutes left, attacking the other team's final. They have Ubered very early, though. This could be interesting, and it's going to be F2 does use his Uber just in time. Mike gets taken down as well. Don't think anything's going to come of this one either, Arx.
Yeah, see, their pushes are really frustrating me a bit because there's 2 things that are going on here. One of them is they're sending their medic and Demoman in alone, and they're getting bullied by Pyro. Hold that! Oh, I was going to say a scout was coming up behind the medic, but Numlocked just dealt with him with a nice pipe bomb on him there. But yeah, there's 2 things going on here. First of all, they're pushing in with a medic and Demoman only with the Uber. And what's happening is a Pyro's coming down and rendering them completely useless. If you had anything there, any hit scan, like 1 extra scout with you, that Pyro would drop. But the Pyro's just being really effective. Secondly, there is no communication between the team that the combo of the Demoman and Medic aren't getting into the point. So the rest of their players are pushing in, assuming, oh, our Medic and Demo have gone in, so now's the time when we should go in. But they're going in, and they have no combo support. They're against a full team. And so they're just getting wiped out and forced to retreat. But Uber's been popped anyway as we're going in. Again with the Medic and Demo combo. This time Scout of Quad ran in to try and do some damage. They have lost a soldier and a scout, and it looks like they've just lost their other scout as well. Uber was popped for F2, so that's a kind of saving grace. But yeah, they haven't really done anything with the push.
But then again, Yeah, they can recycle. I mean, let's just take some positives from this push as well. Dunc stayed alive. They've recycled again. This is the third recycle.
Yeah, it's true. If
Wasting
at first
time.
you don't succeed, try
Yeah,
again.
it's wasting time.
And they're giving themselves the option to try again.
Exactly. So they're not going all in. Maybe if they went all in, like he said, maybe Epsilon might win it and push back out. As I said, it's technically Epsilon's time right now. This is probably one of the more difficult maps to push out to second. Your second.
Yeah, it is. It is, especially if you're using those the non-standard classes, the pick classes or the heavy classes. It becomes quite hard, but I mean, it's I don't really know. But Epsilon, either way, are going to be trying to make that push. They're at the lobby. They've taken down quite a few players. In fact, they've taken down what, 2/3 of the team. Uber's been forced. They're going to try and get that Uber out from F2, but they can't afford to lose their medic and demo man just for the Uber. So actually, numlock's really frustrated by that by the looks of it, and trying to spam in, hopefully get something, but doesn't manage to do so. Now Epsilon in a great position, pushing out. They've taken their second CP back, and they've got an Uber advantage. Yeah,
someone's going to need to go and take responsibility to get this out of F2, or we could see Infused falling back very, very quickly. I'm just trying to see who's probably the most likely candidate. You would think Mike and maybe Greg and Quad, but flisko has been doing the odd jump tonight, if you hadn't noticed already, but they're not even going to bother Arx. They're just going to put some spam down. F2 is taken very weak.
It might come back in though.
It was forced. Yeah, they're going to come back in surely. Dunc has
they should go in now.
Yeah,
even though the Uber hasn't worn off, it's a tiny bit too late because they've managed to get the cap. But even though the Epsilon Uber hadn't quite worn off yet, which is what they were waiting for, they could have gone in a bit earlier, just kept the 7 or 8 seconds Uber advantage and saved that cap point. And then they'd have already been at the second point and pushed a lot of their players there. It might be irrelevant though. Epsilon did lose most of their players apart from 2. And Infused are over this 4th point. Yeah, Epsilon aren't going to... Yeah, they're not there, so it was pretty much irrelevant.
Well, I mean, it does mean we're back in a situation again where Infused have a slight advantage this time. And Epsilon building fast though. Just running those off-standard classes. Heavy and Pyro again that last. And it's another turn for Infused to try and break them down. 7.5 minutes remaining, Arx. Yeah, we could be seeing another golden cap if Epsilon can push back out. I'm favouring Infused right now.
I mean, I am. I think we'd all like to see a golden cap, but here comes the push now. The Heavy's still sitting on the point. This time not getting destroyed by any scouts coming in. 2 of the players are down for Epsilon. Surely Infused are going to come back in. There we go. Soldier's also getting a lot of damage taken on him by numlocked. He's very weak, but his medic has managed to tag onto him. Medic of F2 is very, very weak though. He really needs to get in and resup, and that's exactly what he's nearly doing. Yeah, he is going for it. So actually, I feel Infused could have probably capitalised on that a bit more, but they're recycling, they're ahead, they can do it.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to have another go at it. It's their time still. I wouldn't be surprised if they did just go for the pick again. See if they can get that heavy, you know, just make him weak. I'm surprised no one's running sniper actually, Arx. Maybe like Quad.
wltrs is on spy. He's going to try and do something for Epsilon now, and he's actually got out of the, I believe that, yeah, the lower lobby door, and he's about to come into the lobby. He just uncloaked. He's behind the medic. He's missed one stab. He only hit a second one. He's trying to pistol him, but the Uber was forced anyway. However, there is a scout sitting over onto the point. That was perfect timing for that scout because now the Uber combo is coming in. Counter Uber's been popped from Epsilon, and there's a lot of time on that point. Epsilon aren't going to be able to push out.
No, that was really close actually. It really nearly worked like a story almost, you know, distract and let me come in behind, but I mean, I can't imagine the comms right then. I've got to get the medic. Oh wait, there's a scout on final, and then everything just going crazy.
And sometimes the best strategies are the ones that happen by accident, and that can include your medic goes down, and then suddenly all of your team coordinate with excellent coordination, jumps and kills their entire team because you. And the only reason why you jumped was because your medic went down. And the same kind of thing that happened there. A spy nearly killed the medic. Dunc almost accidentally popped his Uber, but it was perfect timing to pop the Uber because of a scout that happened to be going for a little sneaky back cap. So it nearly worked out really, really well because they would have come in just as everyone had dropped down onto the point, and they would have just got eaten alive by a stickies.
Just over 5 minutes remaining now. Infused leading this map right now. 2-1 score. you have just joined us, this is VanillaTV, and you are watching and listening to the ETF2L Grand Final of Season 10, Infused versus Epsilon. 1-1 the score on maps. This is the final round decider. First was decided by Golden Cap, and the second by a 5-0 to Epsi. But nonetheless, Infused now in the ascendancy with just time on their side. Really, I'll be surprised if they just don't waste as much, just like Epsi did with them Arx on Snakewater. They could probably sit a little bit more comfortably here if they don't get stuck in any choke corners and so on. But it doesn't look like they're going to push in. Actually, where is the Epsilon team? They've actually pushed out. It's only a few on final. It's going to be a scout on final. 2 scouts on final. Soldier's going to come in and block. It's going to be so close. And F2 in the end comes back and saves him. And now Epsi have got that second point. And surely Infused are in trouble now.
Infused are in a lot of trouble there. It was KnOxXx who managed to kill both of the scouts with a single rocket that were on the back cap. And as they pushed in, that's when Epsilon had a scout over on the point, getting the time on the second. So that's horrible for Infused, because they not only did they fail the push, they'd lost the forward respawns. And now Epsilon going to try and carry that momentum. They want to get this done. Infused desperately don't want to give it to them. They have got a heavy sitting out on middle, trying to do what he can, but he's not going to do anything against that much spam and close range scattergun shots coming in. And Infused are going to be a bit rattled here. They do have their medical life, but he did go down earlier. So Epsilon with an Uber advantage, 95%. No one in a position to kill him by the looks of it. And Epsilon are going to be on this 4th point.
Yep, total turn of the tides. We could be looking at Golden Cap coming up yet again for a second time. Probably like the 10th time in a row for me and Arx casting. But here we go, Epsilon pushing into this final now. Dunc doesn't have his Uber actually. I thought he did. Dunc went down. Great play by KnOxXx. He's locked him into the corner. Surely Epsilon going to come in and take this point. And it looks like they are. Demo comes in, Soldier comes in. They both go down. And there we have it. 2-2 this score. 3 minutes remaining. And this just got even more interesting.
Now these final 3 minutes are going to be probably... I would predict that it's going to be the most passive TF2 you've ever seen in your life, because none of these guys will just be thinking, oh, Golden Cap, let's just do it on that. Let's just not lose this now. But I could be completely wrong, because they might have the mindset of let's go for this and get it done. And actually, that looks like what Epsilon won. They are absolutely wiping the team. 4 of the players down for Epsilon. 3 minutes still remaining. They're already pushing. If Dunc hasn't fallen back enough, he's going to get taken down. And actually, they've pushed all the way in. We've got Randa over on the last, pressuring the Soldier that was building the Uber with Dunc. Now the Ubers are still pretty much the same. Soldier's jumping in to try and take down Dunc, but all of the spawns come in, and they've lost the Soldier. Have a few of the Epsilon players overextended here. It's I mean, they've only lost 1. I think they could have lost a lot more. Yeah,
it's probably worthwhile that Randa actually got out, because he would have been the one that went down first, because he was the furthest forward. It really is turn of the tides, because now it's Epsi who want to be looking to waste a little bit of time. And did I just hear Gear went down? I thought F2 went down as well. But
back
F2,
cap.
Back cap going on. Scout comes in, and it's going to be 3-2 the score with 1 minute and 30 seconds left. Infused do not have a choice now. We're going to probably see crits maybe for the first time this game.
You are going to see full-on aggression regardless of what they're doing on middle. Having a look, he's running the regular Uber charge. This is a fast map, a very fast map. Question is, what are Epsilon going to do? Are they going to just go full-on aggression again, because they know Infused are going to do that? And in fact, early kill, Randa's down. Infused have some hope here. Their soldiers are also getting a lot of damage taken on them, but they have lost Greg in the process. They need him to get the time on the point. Still 1 minute 17 seconds left, and this map, as I said, you can get very quick rounds. I do believe that there was a scout behind somewhere. Yeah, there is wltrs sitting behind, and he's doing a smart thing, because he's going to draw at least 1 player over onto middle, if not block the mid cap. But no, mid cap isn't blocked. Infused now over on this 4th capture point. wltrs still somewhere behind them. They are going to be wanting to make a push, and this is it. It's going to come down to this.
Yeah, it has to be now or never for Infused. With just 45 seconds remaining, this could be very, very close. And here they come, Heavy sitting at the back of the point. Both teams use Uber, and Infused are falling out. It looks like someone got behind. They're running 2 heavies. Is that allowed? I don't know. You might have to comment on that. I didn't think you allowed double heavies anymore.
You're not.
Uh-oh, this could be interesting. I really didn't.
Shocky saying he didn't shoot, but
I don't. Oh dear me! When we didn't know this game could have got any more interesting, I always thought 2 heavies was disallowed. Crasp, you're on Source TV. Please comment.
We'll see, 2 heavies aren't allowed now. Obviously, it's a mistake. I think we all know it, but has it had an effect on the game? There's only 6 seconds left, and during all of that typing, I mean, we have to call it now and say that Epsilon have won, but it's kind of real anticlimactic end to this match because Infused surely are going to go have a discussion with the admins, and we're going to end up in a bit of a mess, really.
Oh, this could be interesting. Interesting to see that Infused left the server, though, a couple of the players. Either way, look, you have been listening and watching to VanillaTV. eSports Season 10 winners are, right now, Epsilon. I think it affected the gameplay.
Confirmed.
Yeah, to be confirmed. Right now, I think it affected the gameplay.